Hello everyone, my name is Zoe. This presentation is going to explore the potential use of virtual reality in education. To start with, we need to know what virtual reality is. Virtual reality, or VR, is a computer-generated technology in the form of a headset that simulates almost real-life experiences. You can connect it to a compatible device to play games or explore different areas or worlds, whether they are fiction or non-fiction. They often come with controllers or motion sensors like gloves or headphones. Here is a diagram of the different parts of the headset. You've got the chassis or the skeleton, you've got the lenses, and finally, to connect it to a device, you can either attach a phone at the end or you can connect to other devices like PCs or PlayStations via Bluetooth or HDMI. That's pretty cool, right? What if I told you that VR is highly compatible with education? This presentation explores the potential integration of HASS, or geography, with digital technologies with a focus on digital systems. That would be achieved through the use of VR in the classroom. And the main goal of that is to explore the regions of Asia, because that fits in with the Year 6 content descriptors. This is where the SAMR model comes in. We'll start with the substitution stage, where the activity's resources are replaced with technology, but with no functional change yet. For example, students could look at maps in a book, but then substitute that with a laptop or a computer to collect data online. They might come across images such as the ones here that are static. The augmentation stage builds off of the previous stage by including some more functional improvements. For example, in this context, students could use Google Earth to explore different regions of Asia, and this still serves the same purpose, but students can view the content using a slightly more enhanced technology with satellite images and 360 street views. The modification stage is when the transformation starts to happen. While substitution and augmentation focused on the task of exploring regions of Asia, at this stage we can incorporate VR. So, with VR, they can connect the headsets and the technology to Google Earth, and they can explore regions of Asia in an even more immersive way. And with the incorporation of that complex technology, another curriculum area can be integrated, and that is digital technologies with a focus on digital systems. And this leads to a high integration of STEM. The redefinition stage is the final stage, and the task uses technology to reach standards and new knowledge that could not have been conceived before or at the substitution stage. And by this stage, students are using advanced technology to explore regions of Asia in real time, and then they get to inquire into how virtual reality systems work and why they might have been used for this task. So, how do we make sure that this actually works in the classroom? Firstly, this is the SAM model. Firstly, you would need to collaborate with other staff and trial the technology before actually doing it, because the last thing you want is a technology failing on you. After you've made sure it works, teachers need to explicitly structure and plan the lesson to cater to different students and timeframes and learning intentions. And after that lesson, teachers will have the opportunity to evaluate the success of the lesson and the use of technology and make any improvements they need. Students would need to be aware about digital literacy and the ethical use of ICT. They should only have access to the material required, which would be Google Earth VR, and they would actually need to know how to use the headset safely and properly. On that note, potential risk factors might include dizziness, as your peripheral vision is kind of blocked out. Some people might fall over, and if a VR headset is misused, that could lead to it breaking or being destroyed. As for potential limitations, it mainly comes down to cost and how relevant the technology is. As you can see from this graph, the cheapest, most decent headset is about $250, which is about $370 Australian dollars. And when we're thinking about school budgets, that is pretty hefty. Schools would need to limit the amount of headsets they own and would need to distribute them across the different cohorts when needed. As for how relevant the technology is, you'd need to make sure it is compatible with the resources